Hi, welcome back to the SEO Talk podcast. On the show today, we are going to talk about how to get found and improve conversions. Following is a recording from our Twitter spaces. Engage with us and share your comment after going through the podcast. Thank you.
So, welcome back to SEO Talk Spaces, episode 87. This is your host, Malhar Barai, and I'm glad to be joined by my co host, Parth Suba. A wonderful topic that we have today, and this is related to all the changes going on and something that we talked about at other places as well, that okay, my traffic is going, or probably I'm coming on to AI overviews, which means that while I get the views on my content, the conversion is not happening. So we thought, let us dive a little further on this and talk about it. And so here is the topic for the day: how to get found, because we have multiple places to get discovered. And something that we again discussed last week was, don't limit yourself to Google. There are so many places right now. And beyond that, how to improve conversions. Because, like I mentioned on the tweet a little while earlier, almost 70% of your traffic, they don't visit back again. So how do you get your conversions once people have visited your website? So you got discovered but not converted. So how do we do that? So all those things today, and to talk about some of the things, we have Parth, and I would be honored to have few of you join in on the panel as well. Share your thoughts, share your perspective. There are no right or wrong answers, so feel free to share the perspective and we can debate it further. Okay, so let's get started. Parth, do you want to say anything before we get
Yeah,
started?
yeah, I think so. Whosoever is listening here, like Tushar or Shreyas, and there might be a couple of folks like every single time we get 50 to 75 odd listens during the live. And then when we check a week down the line, a month down the line, we get 200, 500. For some of the viral ones, we get close to 1,000 views, the audio listens. So I urge everyone, like everyone down the line wants to be successful in their SEO career, and probably somewhere down the line you might be looking to speak at an event or on a stage. So this is an open platform, like no one is judging you here. So feel free, like share your thoughts openly, like feel free and come up on the stage, practice here, like shouldn't miss this opportunity. We are making it possible for all of you to have freedom of speech without anyone looking at you. Like you don't have to show your faces, but at least you can start speaking. So yeah, this is how I learned. Like you guys have probably seen me on and off.
Very well put, very well put. So, yes, definitely an opportunity to train yourself as a SEO speaker or a digital marketing speaker, whatever you want, because we are talking about conversion. So, this is your opportunity right from getting discovered to conversion. So, take this opportunity. And that's where my first question also comes in, right? So, SEO, like I mentioned, we don't want to limit it to Google anymore, and because there are so many other platforms that are around. So to get started, right, how should someone approach SEO, especially if you're looking at platforms beyond Google as well?
Yeah, I think so. Google recently there was one statistics where the search market Google had over a period of like more than a decade, it was always above 90%. Recently, they went below 90%. So what happens is like this Bing has increasingly like the market share is increasing. Then there are a lot of social platforms like the Instagram search, the TikTok search is going huge. Like people's patterns have changed. A lot of shopping happens because of a lot of creators and influencers share products on video. So search is expanding to a lot of different platforms. People are searching on Quora, Reddit, Stack Overflow, and whatnot, depending on what community, what industry they are in. So search is not going to be limited now with the advent of LLMs, OpenAI, Perplexity, Claude, and DeepSeek coming into the picture and whatnot. Like every other week, we'll have a new AI model which would be wrapped around an open source LLM model. So yeah, search is going to be crazy. Like I just want to add one analogy here. Uh, if you're searching for an answer, so if you're doing Google, like with the manual intervention, like you can only search 10 results, 20, 30, 40. You can go to page 5, page 6, and you can search for some another query. Human brain has some limitations. But if you ask the same question to OpenAI, for example, it is trained on all the data up till probably December 2024. So all the data available on Google or web, it can scroll through it and give an answer. I just saw a tweet today morning around an OpenAI engineer, and his wife was detected with cancer and some treatment, and then he shared all the reports, and there was some very odd study which was not SEO optimized. It was lying somewhere on the internet, and it sourced that study and gave an output like, hey, the after the chemotherapy, the radiation is not required. It's crazy. Like it can smartly search on the web, which manual search on Google couldn't do. So the possibilities are endless.
Oh, fantastic point. Tushar, do you have a perspective that you want to add? Right, if you're speaking, you're on mute. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Coming to this, I don't have so much to say, but yeah, the work which right now I'm doing, like coming to the different perspectives of choosing different channels. So right now I'm into the email niche website. So what we are doing, like we are, let's say if I'm an SEO person, I'm not limiting to the website or Google or Bing, or I would say basic social media. We are trying to push our like email designs on Dribble, Behance. So this is something that getting us the conversions also. So yeah, this is it from my end.
And that's a good one. So give me a moment.
No worries.
No, that's a nice point, and I agree with both of you in terms of definitely the search part is very fragmenting right now. And like Path mentioned, it was almost Google leading at 90% earlier. But the Gen Z, or I wouldn't say just Gen Z, but there is a whole new generation that is looking beyond Google. And also some of us, probably say the nerdy people amongst us, are also looking for answers within the LLM tools also, because what we talk about, right, how to optimize for AI and all this stuff is also happening. While that is, I still feel it is limited to the nerdy folks. The common people are still not there, but yes, someone can have an early start. So if you can start optimizing for some of the LLM tools or AI tools, for that matter, definitely do so. And I also feel, say something about the marketplace. I don't think we talked about that a bit, but say a lot of brands today are also, and particularly this is related to someone within the e-commerce space, they are also present on the marketplace. Optimization for this marketplace also kind of becomes important. And again, that's just not limited to Amazon. People are present across multiple platforms these days. At least in India, you have Amazon, Flipkart, and few others also. And we don't know if there is anything new that is coming up. I guess when we talk about conversions, just not the discovery part, but also from a conversion point of view, it is also necessary to understand the marketplace SEO, so that for at least for e-commerce brands, there is a chance for conversion, or there is a large part of conversion happening there. So it's important to get discovered there also. Right. Any thought, or I'll move to the next part of my question. Parth, Tushar, anything from you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Let's move to the next question.
Cool. Right. So again, I will continue on the same line in terms of, say, getting discovered is just one part of it, right? You have your ranking probably somewhere within 1 to 10. All is good. You get discovered on, say, AI overviews, very good, right? You have part of Google Discover, all good. But where is the conversion? What are the biggest mistakes that probably happen which are not directly getting into the conversion, or what is challenging for getting conversion for any brand? Parth?
Yes, just give me a minute. So the question is around rankings, I think so.
It's more
Um,
around, okay, you have a rank, but still you're not getting conversions, right? So, what, from a content point of view, what kind of mistakes would be happening?
yeah. I think so. The content has been evolving, but the nature of Google's algorithm and how Google is trying to serve the users upfront on the SERP is the shift which is going on, and which we as SEOs and media houses and content people are facing. So the problem here is the zero click nature of the web. So if we can see now for shopping brands, there's some knowledge panel showing on the right hand side. I saw one of the articles and a tweet yesterday, and it summarizes everything about that product on the Google search results page itself. And I don't think so. The time is far away where people can directly order using the Google's homepage. Like everything would be interactive there only. So having said that, I think so. From content point of view, I don't think so. There's anything that is not being achieved or that is going wrong, but it's the zero click nature for informational queries. Google has stopped sending traffic to a lot of websites, and that is how HubSpot lost a good chunk of traffic. But having said that, that was a different analogy where HubSpot's content was starkly this thing. But the zero click nature will make content marketers think on how to leverage other SERP features like normal blue links and answers. That's not the way. Like how you play around with your content that shows up on AI overviews and creates more curiosity for the searcher to probably go. And so there should be connecting dots to the content, and it should be offered in more quiz structure and format like that. Also, I'll give one more example from Storylane. There's this guy, I saw this podcast on Ahrefs, Madhav guy from Storylane. He came up with this term demo-led SEO. So you don't publish a blog content, but you publish, if you are into SaaS, if you have a product, you demo your features and you present it in a very visual pictorial way, so people would know that, hey, there's this unique format of content from this particular website which Google cannot serve on the SERP page. You have to go inside and check and scroll through it. So that is very smart way of kind of being creative with the content.
No, that's a nice way to put it. And if I have to use a particular term, see, some things from a brand or a SEO person perspective, it's like we are SEO obsessed but conversion blind. So we write long form of content, we write all the stuff and keep on optimizing for all things SEO just to get discovered, rank 1 to 10, but then we forget that, okay, the brand really wants is not just getting discovered, but it also wants conversion. And sometimes, I guess because of that, it's difficult. Even because I see a lot of young people within my network also, they're just so SEO obsessed, but it becomes very difficult when we talk about the entire conversion language. So I guess all of us also needs to think of it in a way that how can we just not focus on SEO. While good, it is good to focus on SEO, but a large part of the entire SEO game is also driving conversion. So that is something that we should look for. Second, I also feel, say, that, and something that you just alluded to, that we write long form of content, and this I also was talking to someone little while back. See, you have a table of content kind of stuff which is at the top of your blog or content page, which is good, and this person was saying, okay, don't put it on top of the page. The reason for that is, or rather the alternative to that is, don't put it on top of the page, put it either on the left side or on the right side of your page. Reason for that is if when you are on top of the page you have put there and someone has clicked on that content and reached a particular section, there is a certain friction for them to go back on the top and go to other sections. While if it is on the side, either right side or the left side, it is easier for them and click and go through various part of your content. So even if you are writing content which is good, etc., if you're not focusing on that part of conversion, right, can I get someone to go through my entire content and go to the call to action, all this stuff gets negated because you probably just thought about SEO part of it. That is something that I just wanted to bring upon. You have a thought around that? Again, Tushar, Parth.
I totally agree. I think so. The content format and the SERP features and everything is going to be very challenging. Like SEOs will have to adapt. So there will be an R&D team and everything required. Like one person continuously monitoring what are the changes going on for that particular industry in that particular geography. So those changes are like I've seen if we search for a lot of US, the Western developed cities and states, if we monitor their intent and queries over the weekdays and over the weekends, especially in the travel industry, it is so different. Like things to do in San Francisco. If you search during the weekdays and if you search during the weekend, like we can try to hear from here using the incognito mode and the VPNs and stuff like that. The results are so Google's learning pattern has evolved so much that it knows where to capitalize on what terms. And I think so going forward, if we want to optimize for conversions from our content point of view, I think so we need more collaborative approach with the performance marketing teams. Like if they have been running ads, like there's no harm or there's no shy feeling of getting in touch with them. What are the keywords that are converting for them? What ad copies are working for them? What are the list of negative keywords? Why not you go ahead and target, and at the end of the day you know that these conversions are already going on. So that's always that is one thing which I've seen. Like there's a lot of I wouldn't say ego, but a lot of conflicts between the SEO and the performance marketing team, and there's no sync at all. So this helps a lot.
Super. So that also brings me to the next question in terms of you're talking about see user intent and how brands should align their content according to user intent, which will improve both or which will improve not just rankings but also conversion. I know it's something that you alluded to, but again, if you want to expand on that thought.
Yeah, I think so. As we see the search volume for topics which are bottom and middle of the funnel in nature, the search volume is way less than the top of the funnel. So optimizing for the traffic number is very old fashioned these days. But unfortunately, there are a lot of leaders, CXOs, and leadership people who keep on pushing the SEO team and still asking for traffic numbers. I think so. Traffic and rankings shouldn't be discussed anymore. Uh, Apart from that, like focus on the buckets of commercial landing pages where they can get the. So thinking from Pareto's principle, like 80-20 rule, what are those 20% pages where you can get 80% of the revenue, and think from that lens, and then you can proceed. That is how the approach should be going forward, and that will only help us focus on a lot of heat map tools, whether it's session replay tools like I forgot the name, Story something, and there's Microsoft Clarity. So yeah, getting into the weeds of how the users are interacting and behaving with our landing pages, we should keep on improvising. Incremental improvisation is for sure required week over week on our important pages.
Sure. Thank you. Atar also has joined. So, Atar, if you have a thought, your perspective on the topic or on the question.
हेलो पार्थ, हाय मल्हार भाई और तुषार, कैसे हो? सो बेसिकली मैं तो हिंदी में रहूँगा एंड वरुण को भी बहुत मिस करते हैं और काफ़ी दिन से तो वरुण भाई दिख भी नहीं रहे हैं। आई डोंट नो।
बड़ा आदमी हो गया है।
सो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट तो ये है कि जैसा कि बताया कि ये प्लेटफॉर्म काफ़ी ओपन है। मैं काफ़ी एसईओ टॉक बहुत दिन से सुनता रहता हूँ, लेकिन एज अ लिसनर मोड पे। तो धीरे धीरे ये प्लेटफॉर्म ने मौका दिया बोलने का, चीज़ें आगे आगे आने का, तो थोड़ा बहुत अब तो मैं एज अ स्पीकर भी ज्वाइन करता हूँ चीज़ें शेयर करने के लिए। तो हमारे सर्च इंजन की बिहेवियर को, यूज़र के इंटेंट को, सर्च करने की जो क्वेरीज है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें डे बाय डे चेंज हो रहा है। पहले अगर हम सीटीआर इम्प्रूव करने की बात करते थे, पहले हम एसईओ इम्प्रूव करने की बात करते थे, बहुत सारी चीज़ें लिमिटेशन होती थी हमारे पास कि हमें अपने मेटा टाइटल है, डिस्क्रिप्शन है, ऑन पेज हमने कर लिया, ये सारी चीजें एक्टिविटी होती थी। बट राइट नाउ चीजें बहुत कुछ बदल चुका है और बहुत सारी चीजें एआई का इतना इम्पैक्ट आ चुका है हमारे सर्च इंजन पर भी, तो हमें अपने इस बिहेवियर को चेंज करना है। कन्वर्जन इतना मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट होता है कि बाय एंड जो एंड होता है कि अगर हम कोई कीवर्ड पे काम कर रहे हैं और रैंक कर रहा है टॉप पे, तो टॉप पर रैंक करना ये मेरा मेजर गोल नहीं है। हमारे बॉस को तो चाहिए लीड कन्वर्जन, चाहिए सेल, चाहिए कि अल्टीमेटली हमारा वो सेल क्या दे रहा है। तो हमें कैसे कीवर्ड पे काम करना चाहिए, कैसे हमें जो है किस तरीके से राइट ऑडियंस को हमें पकड़ के चलना चाहिए जिससे हमारा ये एसईओ रेवेन्यू जनरेट कर सके। एसईओ कोई ट्रैफिक जनरेट करने की चीज नहीं है। अगर एसईओ को हम रेवेन्यू में कन्वर्ट करते हैं कि अपने एसईओ को किस तरीके से रेवेन्यू प्रोसेस में ले जा रहे हैं, फिर उससे कितनी कन्वर्जन हम वहां से लेकर आ रहे हैं, दैट्स द वर्क एसईओ, कि हम एसईओ को कैसे यूज कर रहे हैं। सिर्फ ट्रैफिक को लाना ही हमारा मकसद नहीं है। अल्टीमेटली हमें भी बोला जाता है कि हमारे जो बॉस होते हैं कि हमें कन्वर्जन चाहिए, सेल चाहिए। तो हमें एसईओ को ऐसे ऐसे चीजों पे ध्यान देना चाहिए। अभी चाहे एआई का एलएलएम मॉडल, इतनी सारी चीजें आ गई है, चैट जीपीटी से हट करके अब तो डीप सीक जो है आ चुका है। तो चैलेंजेस एक के बाद एक हैं और खुद एआई का चैलेंजेस एआई बनता जा रहा है। तो हमें स्मार्टली तरीके से अपने आप को फोकस करना है कि हमें किस तरीके से अपने चैनल को जो है ऑप्टिमाइज करना है या चैनल को किस तरह के आगे लेके जाना है। ये हमारा एक जो है टारगेट होना चाहिए। अभी हमने रिसेंटली, जैसा कि मैं एचरफ का एक डेटा भी शेयर हुआ था कि उन्होंने बहुत सारे मिलियंस उन्होंने एनालाइज किया है कि लिंक का क्या इम्पैक्ट होता है। तो जैसा कि गूगल बोलता है कि जैसे बैकलिंक या लिंक के बारे में बात होती है कि बहुत कम जो इम्पैक्ट होता है, तो रिसर्च भी कुछ ऐसा दिख रहा है कि उसका जो इम्पैक्ट बहुत कम दिखता जा रहा है। तो हमें यही होता है कि हमें कैसे डे बाय डे अपने एसईओ को इम्प्रूव करना है, किस तरीके से हमें कन्वर्जन को पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखते हुए अपने एसईओ पे काम करना चाहिए, रादर जैसे कि टेक्निकल एसईओ या ऑन पेज एसईओ या कंटेंट को लेकर के कितना डेप्थ में जाना चाहिए, कंटेंट को कैसे हमें कवरेज करना है, कैसे एलएलएम मॉडल को किस तरीके से हमें कहाँ पे किस तरह रैंक कराना है। तो अगर ये तमाम चीजों को पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखेंगे तो हमारा कन्वर्जन बहुत अच्छा होगा इस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से। तो मेरा यही पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है कि हमें हर एक प्लेटफॉर्म को ध्यान रखना चाहिए, चीजें काम करनी चाहिए, तभी चीजें आगे बढ़ेंगी। नहीं तो अगर एक चीज पर हम रहेंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेगा। सो दैट्स इज फ्रॉम माय साइड, ओवर टू यू मल्हार भाई।
Thank you. Super, super perspective. Yeah, Parth.
या बट जो दो केपीआईज हम ट्रैक करते थे कि भाई चलो टॉप 3 में रैंक कर लिया, रैंक कर लिया तो गूगल ट्रैफिक भेजता था, ट्रैफिक आता था तो कन्वर्जन आता था। क्योंकि लेकिन अभी क्या हुआ कि रेस हो गया कंटेंट का, और जब से सास टूल्स आए हैं तो कंटेंट मार्केटिंग बहुत हाई उसमें चल रहा है। तो कंटेंट मार्केटिंग की वजह से अभी कंटेंट लिखना कमोडिटाइज हो गया है ड्यू टू एआई टूल्स। मतलब ये 2 साल से तो ये एलएलएम्स आए, उससे पहले भी कुछ कुछ ऑनलाइन टूल्स थे जिससे कंटेंट बन ही रहा था। सो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे कंटेंट इतना कमोडिटाइज हो गया कि हर कोई लिख रहा था कंटेंट, बट कंटेंट लिखने में भी एक आर्ट है, मतलब कि ऐसी कॉपी आप कैसे लिखो। एक टर्म है, आपका कंटेंट है ना, इंटेलिजेंटली इंसाइटफुल एंड इमोशनली एंगेजिंग होना चाहिए। मतलब वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपके कंटेंट में वैल्यू भी है और वो एंगेजिंग होना चाहिए। तो वो काफी जगह पे मिसिंग था, और अभी जीरो क्लिक नेचर की वजह से अगर आपका कंटेंट टॉप 3 में भी रैंक कर रहा है, फिर भी ट्रैफिक ही नहीं आ रहा। मतलब बाहरी ये और व्यूज में आंसर दे रहा है गूगल कंटेंट में से फैच करके, तो आपकी वेबसाइट पे ट्रैफिक ही नहीं आ रहा, तो आप आपके सीटीएस, आपके कन्वर्जन्स तो सारा वेबसाइट के अंदर पड़ा हुआ है, बाहर एसईआरपी में तो कुछ कन्वर्जन नहीं हो रहा। सो या आई थिंक सो यहाँ पे गेम बहुत मुश्किल हो गई। तो एसईओ कैंपेन के जो केपीएस हम ट्रैक कर रहे थे, वो बहुत लेवल पे, नेक्स्ट लेवल पे चेंज हो गए हैं। आप कौन से एसईआरपी फीचर्स पे रैंक कर रहे हो, ठीक है, आपका वॉइस ऑफ शेयर क्या है, आपका ब्रांड क्वेरीज पे ट्रैफिक क्या है, आपका आपके रिटर्निंग वर्सेस नॉन रिटर्निंग यूजर्स का रेशियो क्या है, आपका ब्रांड वर्सेस नॉन ब्रांड क्वेरीज का। आप कंटिन्यूसली कमर्शियल पेजेस, हीट मैप टूल्स लाइक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट क्लैरिटी एंड अदर टूल्स, तो कि आप यूजर्स कैसे इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं आपके पेज पे, आप ए बी टेस्ट कर रहे हो नहीं कर रहे हो। सो वो सारी चीजें बहुत मैटर करेगी। I think so. We have two interesting women in SEO joined us, दिव्या एंड हिरल, उन्होंने भी हमारे साथ ज्वाइन किया है। सुरेश, वापस मैं एक बार रिपीट करूंगा, नए लोग ज्वाइन हुए हैं। एसईओ टॉक ऐसा स्टेज है जहाँ पे आके आप इंडिपेंडेंटली, फ्रीली, फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच आप बोल सकते हो। कोई यहाँ पे जज करने वाला नहीं है, ना तो कोई आपको देख रहा है। सो आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो, एंड इवेंचुअली इफ यू आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड कि आपको कहीं पे भी कोई इवेंट में एज अ स्पीकर जाना है, तो दिस इज अ गुड स्टेज वी आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड हियर। So feel free, come up on the stage. We would want to know your thoughts, opinions on today's topic. Over to you, Malhar bhai.
Super. The good points in terms of okay, what brand should do, क्योंकि user intent बहुत important factor हो गया है अभी, and you have to align your content accordingly. सुरेश है तो I'll take an opportunity also to pick up something around technical SEO if he is keen to join and share something around it in terms of what kind of technical SEO fixes someone can do so that it can improve conversions. Again, Suresh, if you want to join, please do so. I just sent you an invite. Folks, beyond technical SEO, if you want to talk about, and this is flavor of the season, right? So I cannot leave that point out. Gen AI is definitely changing how brands are getting discovered or how some of us are getting discovered. So you have to still, like I mentioned earlier, this is probably an early mover advantage. See, हमारे में कुछ ज्ञानी लोग हैं जो अभी जेन एआई यूज कर रहे हैं. It is still not for the आम आदमी kind of public people. They are still not using it, but nonetheless, going forward, they could be, because you see, say Gen AI or some of the AI tools getting integrated in WhatsApp, and probably someone may start using it, right? So if you are a brand, what are few things you will start doing immediately? Not from getting discovered point of view, but how, what are some of the steps you will take for improving your conversions? And good to see you, Divya, on the stage. So very happy to have you join us.
Thank you. So hope am I audible?
Yes, very well.
Yes, yes. Uh, Actually इसको थोड़ा कैजुअली रखते हुए कन्वर्जन और डिस्कवरी पर जब बात होती है, एक्चुअली जो लास्ट मंडे का टॉपिक था उसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट में थोड़ा यहाँ पर ऑब्जर्वेशन है जो शेयर करना आई वुड लाइक टू डू दैट। जो हबस्पॉट का बस चला पूरा ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 2 वीक तक लोगों ने बहुत ज्यादा उस पर बात की। तो और इनफैक्ट आज ही मैंने हम भी एवरी मंडे एक मार्केटिंग टिप रखते हैं, तो उसमें मैंने आज यही पॉइंट रखा है कि एसईओ को कौन से एंगल से देखना है। It's no more a game of only user and crawler. I guess AI, LLM ये सारी चीजें आने के वजह से हम जो हमारा रैंकिंग है पूरा एसईओ की जितनी भी टेक्निक्स है वी आर डूइंग फॉर एआई एज वेल. मतलब एआई इज हेल्पिंग अस आउट बट अभी हो क्या रहा है कि ये सारे जो टूल्स आपको रिजल्ट दे रहे हैं आप चाहे जेमिनाई पर ले लो परप्लेक्सिटी पर ले लो चैट जीपीटी तो है ही ये सारे लोग भी आपको कहीं ना कहीं रिजल्ट देते हैं आपके टॉप 5 जो रिजल्ट आ रहे हैं उसमें से ही. तो बी बिंग एसईओ हमारे लिए बहुत ज्यादा एक स्टेप और चैलेंज हो गया है कि इट वाज प्रायर इट वाज ओनली फॉर यूजर्स एंड क्रॉलर बट अभी एआई किस हिसाब से वर्क कर रहा है किस हिसाब से वो रीजनिंग अपनी डेवलप कर रहा है किस हिसाब से वो डेटा ले रहा है ये भी हमें समझना बहुत ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट हो रहा है. तो यहाँ से सबसे पहला स्टेप होता है कि हाउ टू गेट द डिस्कवरी. और अभी जैसे शेयर किया कि जैसे अभी इट्स 3rd ऑफ द मंथ और एग्जैक्ट टाइम है कि जब हम रिपोर्टिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं क्लाइंट्स के लिए. तो व्हेन आई ऑब्जर्व द डेटा इन टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रैफिक जो इम्प्रेशन और क्लिक्स का हमें डेटा मिलता है जीएसपी के अंदर तो वी ऑब्जर्व द सेम थिंग. लाइक इफ आई कैन गिव द एग्जांपल ऑफ आवर ब्रांड ओनली तो हमारा जो नाम है दैट इज आई विपणन डिजिटल मार्केटिंग सर्विसेज एंड आई विपणन. तो अब क्या हो रहा है ना कि दोनों टर्म्स लोग बहुत ज्यादा सर्च कर रहे हैं मतलब इम्प्रेशन में यहाँ पर ऑलमोस्ट 60% अप हमें मिला है रिजल्ट. बट व्हेन आई सी द क्लिक्स तो क्लिक्स पूरा का पूरा डाउन जा रहा है मतलब समवेयर वो सीटीआर एकदम से डाउन कर देता है. तो एक अगर आप ऐसे ही डेटा के तौर पर उसको रखोगे कोई भी आपके पीपीटी प्रेजेंटेशन में वो बहुत नेगेटिव दिखेगा. बट एज अ एक लेमैन के तौर पर देखने जाओ कि लोग आपकी ब्रांड के बारे में इतना ज्यादा सर्च कर रहे हैं तो दैट इज गिविंग अ गुड सिग्नल इन टर्म्स ऑफ ब्रांडिंग. द सेकेंड पॉइंट ऑफ द कन्वर्जन के लिए ऑब्जर्वेशन हमारा ये रहा है यहाँ पे फोकसिंग ऑन द चैनल्स खास करके. तो जो ऑर्गेनिक सोशल डायरेक्ट रेफरल चीज जो ऑब्जर्व हुई है ये मंथ के अंदर इस कि जो एससीआरपी पर कोरा और रेडिट आर गेटिंग इनटू द फीचर्ड स्निपेट. मतलब अलग से उसका एक नॉर्मल रिजल्ट के साथ साथ एक अलग से पीपल आल्सो डिस्कसिंग अबाउट दिस फॉरम करके छोटा सा स्निपेट आ रहा है एकदम से. मतलब कोरा और पिंटरेस्ट है रेडिट ये सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स ऐसे हैं जहाँ पर हमें बहुत जेन्युइनली और कंसिस्टेंटली हर एक ब्रांड को मैनेज करके रखा है. और सडनली फ्रॉम ऑलमोस्ट 3-4 वीक से तो हम देख रहे हैं कि उसके सारे जो आंसर्स हम दे रहे हैं ना वो बहुत ज्यादा डायरेक्ट एसईआरपी पर रिजल्ट दे रहे हैं. मतलब अब इसको इमेजिन करो आप जीए के अंदर जाकर देखो कि ट्रैफिक आपका सिर्फ ऑर्गेनिक डायरेक्ट तो है ही साथ साथ में आपका रेफरल एकदम पिक ले रहा है और उसकी चैनल जब आप फिल्टर करके देख रहे हो जीए के अंदर 2 फिल्टर वहां पर अप्लाई करने पड़ेंगे आपको साथ में वो देखने के लिए कि रेफर कहाँ से करके आए. तो देन यू नीड टू रियलाइज कि ये पर्टिकुलर प्लेटफॉर्म पर कोरा पर लोग ज्यादा क्वेरी सर्च करके फिर ट्रैवल जो करा रहे हैं. तो दैट इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ जब एजेंसी मॉडल पर आप काम करते हो. जब ज्वेलरी सेक्टर के अंदर हम काम करते हैं तो वी ऑब्जर्व दैट मैक्सिमम लोगों का एक पाथवे जा रहा है ऑन द फ्रॉम द पिंटरेस्ट. तो वहां से आइडिया मोर ऑन लेस सेम ही जा रहा है क्योंकि जो हबस्पॉट का भी एग्जांपल अगर उसको बहुत ज्यादा अगर हम समराइज करें तो बहुत बज ईईएटी का भी चला और उसको बहुत लोगों ने बताया डिबेट हुई कि रैंकिंग फैक्टर है नहीं है. ऑफ कोर्स वो रैंकिंग फैक्टर नहीं है बट बहुत क्लोजली अगर पूरा सिनेरियो आप देखो तो कहीं ना कहीं उन लोगों ने जो लेटली स्टेप्स लिए कि जो इनरिलेवेंट टॉपिक थे वो निकाल दिए रिलेवेंट टॉपिक पर उनका फिर ज्यादा ऑप्टिमाइजेशन हो गया. तो वो चीज क्या डिफाइन कर रही है अल्टीमेटली आपको आपकी अथॉरिटी दिखानी है. अथॉरिटी आप आपकी वेबसाइट पर दिखाओ उसके अलावा ऐसे कौन से जो अथॉरिटेटिव प्लेटफॉर्म्स है इंटरनेट जहां पर आपकी प्रेजेंस होगी तो गूगल आइडेंटिफाई करेगा और उस पर रिलाई करेगा. तो ये सारी चीजें आई गेस एक एग्जाम्पल के साथ भी अगर इफ आई कैन शेयर तो रिसर्च के टर्म्स पर था. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोई डॉक्टरेट है पीएचडी है ओके तो उनकी ऑलरेडी वेबसाइट है बट साथ साथ में उनके जो पब्लिश किए हुए पेपर्स है, इफ दे आर पुटिंग ऑन द राइट प्लेटफॉर्म, इसके लिए गूगल पर बहुत सारे जेन्युइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स अवेलेबल हैं, तो वहां पर जब उनकी प्रोफाइल बनती है ना, एक ऑथोरिटी बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है, और नाउ यू लिंक इट विथ योर ओन वेबसाइट। आई गेस ये सारी प्रोसेस है कहीं ना कहीं बहुत ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो रही है, और वी बिंग एसईओ हमारा रिसर्च ये सारी चीज़ों पर बहुत ज़्यादा डाइवर्ट हो रहा है। तो इट इज़ नो मोर आई गेस गेम ऑफ लिंक एक्सचेंज की तो बात ही नहीं करनी है। टूल्स की बात लोग पूछते हैं कि कौन से टूल्स यूज़ करने चाहिए ये वो, बट आई गेस टूल्स पर भी इतना ज़्यादा रिसर्च ज़रूरी है डेफिनेटली। पर अभी जो जिस हिसाब से एसईओ का टाइम देख रहे हैं हम, जिस हिसाब से डिपसीक और ये सारी चीज़ों पर लोग पीछे भाग रहे हैं, आई डोंट नो, फंडामेंटल की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। दिस आर द एक ऑब्जर्वेशंस है वर्किंग ऑन द क्लाइंट प्रोजेक्ट। So I guess anyone else can relate with this, or I don't know if I'm only facing this.
No, definitely. I guess all of us will relate to that because say SEO is not what it was probably a year back. Also, a lot of things are changed, and I would attribute that to one of the reason that Suresh, by some disturbance came, yeah. But okay, I would attribute that to something like, say, the reason we search is also changed, not just the pattern of searching. Why do we go out? See, earlier people would probably go on the search engines to gather more information, and now most likely people go there either to say for any brand it is to explore their services or products because that is where I guess the intent of conversion comes in. So your content, your pages, etc. should, in my opinion, should be geared towards conversion, and like you mentioned, it should be fed with as much information that is possible to increase their say authority, trust, etc. And like I mentioned just a little while back, don't be so SEO obsessed that you miss conversion. So probably focus on the conversion aspect. SEO will follow soon. That would be my thought. Yeah, Suresh bhai on the speaker panel again. Delighted to see you, buddy. Always good to see interact with you. So yeah, we had spoken about on the technical SEO part. So if you want to share a quick bite in terms of from a technical aspect, what should brands look at so that the conversion increases?
So just simple thing is, what are the contents? What are the website do you have? What are the knowledge base you have? Is the whole thing is getting crawled by LLMs or not? That's also is a thing, because even being an SEO, I started searching a lot in LLMs, like Perplexity, these kind of models and all, because I get the straight away answers. So why you have to search on Google? So I mean the pattern, everything is changing. So you have to make sure you get discoverable over in the chart AI chart engines as well. That's the thing. For that you have to make the website way better actually. If the site is bloated, LLMs can't even process the information, and you won't get discoverable, and you won't get tagged like like citations and all. Like you have to take the things very seriously right now. That's the thing. And you have to track AI overviews as well. Are you getting AI overviews, and is able Google able to figure out what is the section? I mean, so what is the section is all about? What is the page is all about? Something like that. Once you get, like, you have to go deeper into, like, these kind of very nitty-gritty details, and by doing this, Google will able to, like, put it in the right place, like, what people are searching for, what is the document, I mean HTML page, what is the section to rank you for. That's it. Very simple. But the people make it super complicated with the keywords, ton of pages, and doesn't has to be. But again, it has to come back to, like, you have to think like SEO, no, I'm search engine creator point of view as well. as a Google search creator, something like that. You have to study some of the principles, this kind of models, like patents and all. We'll understand why they made something like this. But even Google is fighting a ton of spam right now. Yeah, it happens. How do you handle that's also one scenario. How do you say you're not spamming them, like bloating? That's a thing. Like even HubSpot or whatever we see, like it's like bloating the website with the unnecessary topics. Doesn't has to be. I mean, see, simple logic is you don't need all the traffic in the world. Actually, all you need is targeted traffic that makes you money. Like website makes you, and also that aligns with the topic of money making. Like context. That's it. It has to be something very simple. Yeah, even if you have 100 pages that is contextual with the money aspect of the website, I mean that is the source context. That's more than enough. You don't need 1,000 pages. I mean, if you have 1,000 pages against 100 pages, you are just diluting the page rank. That's it.
Oh, that was a fantastic point, and I totally agree with you because sometimes, again, I use the same analogy in terms of don't be SEO obsessed, but the moment you become SEO obsessed, you start creating thousands or hundreds of pages without really understanding is it really necessary. So, if conversion is the thought process, probably you will focus on that core 50, 100 pages and say, okay, this is converting for me. Let me focus on optimizing them, ensure conversion is taking place. So I'll take this ahead in terms of, again, because you are around, say, they will pick up the point around the entire site speed or the structured data aspect also, because I presume that also impacts conversion to a certain extent from a technical point of view. Before I get into the LLM bit, so do you want to really touch upon that again? So beyond Suresh part, Divya, even if you want to pick up that, because I know both of you are good on the structured data aspect also. So again, between three of you, if you want to pick up site speed, structured data, etc.
There was a patents around this thing actually, like structured data, unstructured data, and all. See, the logic is that, if the website is like the content is aligned more into structured data, structured information, like, list tables and all. I mean, that kind of information is preferred by Google. I mean, it make a lot more sense. And if the website has too much of unstructured data, like paragraphs and all, just like AI content, it doesn't make any sense. And if you think of a structured data and think of JSON LD, like schema and all, so that is technically metadata. Metadata certainly helps. We are actually helping search engine to understand a document, what exactly is a page is about. I mean, so we can connect a lot of entities, I mean, inside the metadata as well. That will technically help. Google doesn't has to process a lot of information, like guessing what exactly is it about. If the website is, I mean, if the page is about Apple, so what exactly is this website is from? If it is from apple.com, like it can be about a company. If it is from the Amazon, it can be like a phone as well as a fruit as well. Where exactly it is part of it. That's the thing. It can be juice as well. Think. I mean, so it's make a lot more sense. Having structured data certainly helps like Google, a search engine to crawl, understand what exactly is a page about in very less effort actually. And in this era, that will help a lot because if the search engine like spend less time in computing power, I mean they prefer you there rather than any other website. I mean that's exactly very good benefit. But the point is that people get arguing like structure doesn't help in LLM era, and it's not like that actually. Unless you start researching, testing, you will have the data. That's why I don't. I mean, I get into this kind of arguments in LinkedIn, Facebook, and all. Actually, I just focus on my testings and research and all. That's it.
Super, super. Good points. Parth, Divya, you want to add something?
Actually, same thing. This is where the stage is actually. SEO is so much about research, so we don't have time to get into the arguments, but keep your head in the front of screen and just do A/B testing constantly with your clients, industries, like whatever industry you're working with, because every industry is giving different result. Since the topic is about the conversion, so conversion gateways are so different for as per the industry. So we are working on multiple industries. So if I consider the food industry, and there is a website for the same. So there are multiple gateways. Now, what you will track? There is a phone number, there is a email address, there is a map address embedded. So whichever the element, whichever HTML tags are being clicked, it is somewhere giving the signal that whatever clicks has happened is driving towards the conversion. People are interested. That is why they are clicking on the phone number. They are intended to inquire about the thing. Same thing when it is the B2B sector, right? So B2B sector is same, but for that there is a totally different approach. Again, there is one a bit kind of comedy. If we are working with the e-commerce, especially on the apparel, clothing segment and jewelry segment, the conversion, the layman thing anyone can do is taking the screenshot of the product. They are spending like average session time. If you see in the GA, it is showing you 4 minutes on the product page, which is quite good, and it is giving you signal that you have brought the quality traffic on the website, but it is being screenshot. Now you cannot track anywhere, right? So this is also one of the kind of user behavior, and this is the thing we as a SEO maybe need to see. So there are so many aspects. As you mentioned, you just don't get into so much into SEO that you forget how actually users are behaving on the even SERP and even after coming on the website, how they are behaving. So we need to consider all these aspects. We need to include, in fact, all of them into our strategy part as well.
The way a simple logic is people who goes into tools kind of converters and currency converters, their goal is simple. They just want to convert the currency to whatever they want. And that's it. People who are into e-commerce, they just wanted to search the pricing and also like add to cart. So technically, each and every topic has a technically called a layout actually, and layout has elements and all. So that's exactly like each topic has different layouts, everything and all unique layouts, unique functionalities. That's exactly people don't see it closely. Yeah, and there was a couple of patents around this, like because e-commerce layout is different from blog, is SaaS kind of website, right? That's the thing. So when you work on different websites, like a different like categories, like e-commerce and all, the layout changes. Even it is for babies, layout changes. Even it is for personalization, it's a layout changes actually. So that's the thing. Like yeah, at the end of the day, goals and also user behaviors changes. That's the thing. Yeah, it's all do- down to user behavior. So technically,
Exactly. Actually, what happens like whenever we are studying this management subject, there is a total whole different subject on the financial behavior. There is a subject on the consumer behavior when you are taking the marketing specialization. So when we are so much into SEO, we have to have some sort of thing where we are, analyzing how exactly searchers are behaving. And I guess that is the segment where we need to focus more on, along with the
Very nice. Parth, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. The whole content consumption has changed and has evolved in last 4 years. Like if we talk about pre-COVID era and then we talk about pre-Chat GPT era, there are stark differences in how people have been consuming content. So earlier, pre-COVID, like the textual content had that potential of influencing people to probably decide on what to buy, what not to buy, and XYZ. There were affiliate sites who used to write very detailed 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 word content around a coffee machine or anything similar to that. So now what happens is like all the top of the funnel content, because of short attention span, and the target audience is spending more time on TikToks and the likes of Instagram and YouTube shorts. So you have to make sure that you put a lot of awareness and discovery content in the vertical short form video content. And then once you have your content there, you have your brand being cited there, then you probably move the customer down the funnel through link in bio, or ask them to Google something, or by chance if they land on your website, like you have your pixel tracking, meta ads, and retargeting ad starts. And then you have a lot of content which is middle and bottom of the funnel on your website, which can probably help convert. So you have to understand this path. Now, earlier it was very linear. Now it's totally dynamic. Like you need to understand where your audience is coming from, where the digital touch point is starting from. And based on that, like you need to make your decisions on your content thing. Off lately, I've started recommending to my clients to invest at least 50% of their content budget into videos. If they're not comfortable, I recommend faceless videos. But yeah, if they're comfortable and if they have someone, a face of the brand or something like that, then that should also be an option. But yeah, I've been working in that direction as well. YouTube shorts work on a different algorithm. Instagram reels work on a different algorithm. So having this social algorithm understanding is also important, because you're recommending the brands who want to invest in SEO for social content. So SEOs will have to wear a lot many hats, at the same time cope up with Google updates and the new AI tools coming up every other week. So yeah, it's going to be challenging times, but I think so the first principles and the fundamentals does not change. Still, we need humans to decide on what is the priority, what activity has more impact and less effort. So prioritization, critical thinking is going to be very, very important. Whoever is taking accountability of any particular SEO campaign.
Super. We are, I guess, just a minute above on the show, but I'll try to squeeze in the last question, and because I feel that is important with three of you being around, and that is like, if you want to advise a brand today and they want to just make one change on the SEO to improve conversion, in your opinion, what should be that one change that they should immediately look at? Let's start with Divya first, if you want to go.
Can you just repeat? I just skipped.
Okay, I'll repeat. So, if you have to advise a brand to make one change in their SEO strategy to improve conversion, what would that be?
One strategy, one
Just
is very difficult.
no, it's like someone who is just like, say, probably started, and you just want them to say, okay, do this first and then come back to me. So, what would be that advice or that suggestion?
I guess two parallel things that comes very first, because I cannot decide between those two things that we find difficult when we deal with the clients. I guess their structure of the website and the content part, because those are the very basic, but still we find it difficult. What happens खास करके when it is in two-tier city, the business owner are a bit rigid about the what kind of technology stack they should have for the long-term success. Especially if we select the platforms, whether it is CMS, say for example, it is a Magento, WordPress, Shopify, whichever they find easy and handy for them as well. They being non-technical, they'll choose that. And lately, they will hire us and they expect the result from us as well. Now we know that Shopify comparatively have uh, lesser facility and features, whichever rank math is giving in WordPress. So at that point, they are not able to understand that, and I guess this is a very basic thing they should be adapting. And the content part, of course, because this is again the thing that content everyone is still taking very lightly and for granted sometimes that ChatGPT hai na, AI hai na, kar lega. But I guess these are the two very parallel wheels that needs to be focused on.
Super. Suresh?
मेरा आइडिया वेरी सिंपल है, जस्ट टॉक टू एंड यूजर्स, जो भी बिजनेस का यूजर्स है ना, जस्ट टॉक टू देम व्हाट इज द पेन पॉइंट ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व, एंड आल्सो व्हाट कौन सा कॉन्टेक्स्ट पे दे आर लुकिंग फॉर इट, सिंपल है। बेस्ड ऑन इट यू जस्ट मेक द फुल स्ट्रक्चर होगा वेबसाइट के कंटेंट और दैट्स इट। तो सी, नहीं तो इट विल एवरीथिंग, इट विल जस्ट अ गेस गेम।
Super.
Yep.
Parth?
I would just add one point. I think so. There are a lot of Google's algorithm works on. It doesn't have that intelligent system to understand the content of the website, but it is smart enough to understand the interactions and engagement with a particular page, whether it's a blog page or a landing page. So there are tools out there. One of them is Microsoft Clarity. So if that brand does not have heat maps and session replays configured on their website, I would highly recommend them to set it up. And over the course of next 2 to 4 weeks, we'll get those numbers that if you have 200 blogs, how much are the people, like, what are the number of blogs where the audience is scrolling beyond 50% of your blog content? For landing pages, what are the CTAs? What are the probably internal links that the audience is clicking on? Based on that, you'll get an idea what page is working, what page is not working, and where are the users interacting. Based on that, I think so. These are the low hanging fruits where you can do amendments and make changes to your existing content, existing landing pages, move your CTAs up down based on the interactions, and improvise on your conversions.
All right. So superb, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It was indeed wonderful to listen to all of you and get a hang of how to get found and improve conversions. This is Malhar signing out on behalf of SEO Talk. With me, as always, is Parth, who is the co host, driving the entire SEO Talk for almost a week now, and good friends from the industry, and someone I definitely can call good friends outside of the industry as well. Suresh, Divya, always good to have you on the show. So thank you so much, everyone.